happy spring and iced coffee season. Or at least I'm hoping it's warm enough for iced coffee today. I wanted to talk a little bit about stress and relieving it a little bit. I see a lot of it on social media. I mean, sometimes it seems to sort of be at a low level, and other times it seems to be kind of high. And it makes sense. It's completely justified. You know, there's always going to be things that are going on that are rough in our world. And as a general group, there's going to be things that are rougher and things that are easier. And that's sort of how it is. And so now it seems like there's a lot of stress and upset and things going on. I'm not even going to talk about them because, you know what they are in your life. So, this is one of those times where you're expending great energies and emotions and you're going in all these directions and you're not grounded. And your hobby, you're spinning, you're knitting, you're weaving. It's one of those things that's grounding for you, that's going to help you feel better. And you need it. And I know there's some people that are going to go, well, yeah, duh. And others that are going to be like, I needed to hear that. I needed to be reminded of that. And I need to remind myself of that sometimes when I'm feeling stressed out. Sometimes I won't even pick up my knitting. Sometimes, and I don't watch a lot of TV. We don't have cable. We just have some Netflix. I think that's all we have is Netflix. And I don't watch a lot of it. And a lot of times it's just background noise while I'm doing other things. But there are times where I'm in great stress and I will just find myself just completely zoned out. Whether I'm actually watching the TV or not, I'm just zoned out. Or I'll be sitting on my phone and playing a game. And I'm not saying that these are bad things, because TVs can be very entertaining, and so can little solitaire games or those things that are on your phone. They can be entertaining. But if they're sort of an escape and you're hoping they're going to de-stress you, most of the time they don't for people. I think there's some things that probably do, but in general, for those of us that are in the fiber crafts, knitting, crocheting, embroidery, weaving, spinning, all of that, we tend to need to turn to our hands and our fiber and the things that we need to do. And so when I'm feeling super stressed out, and I know this is one of those days, I will make a point of picking up my knitting. And sometimes I'll just sit there with the knitting in my lap and, my hands sort of holding it and just kind of just gazing off. Not really paying attention to my knitting, but I'm holding it and it feels better. And a lot of times I'll start knitting and I'll start working at it. It's just one of those things. And sometimes my problem is that it's a long-term project. This happens to be a sweater, but it's an easy project. There's really not a whole lot of thinking to it. It just kind of goes along. I have a few others that have a lot of cables and a couple projects that have some lace in it. And they take a little bit more brain energy. And sometimes by the time I'm ready to sit at night, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock maybe, I just don't have the brain power. I'm up between 5 and 6 every day. And by 9 o'clock, my brain's sort of done. Occasionally one of the kids will ask me a homework question. I'll be like, can we do this in the morning? Because I just can't do it now. And it's true. I just can't. My brain just has had enough. And so sometimes, the cable projects or those things that are long-term projects just aren't working. And it's really, really hard. And sometimes choosing to work on one of those can seem really intense. Like, I have 2 sweater projects that I'm working on right now. And sometimes I just look at that 2 pounds of fiber I need to spin and it feels overwhelming. And then I have to talk myself down. I don't need to spin 2 pounds of heckin' fiber right now. I don't have to. It's a little bit at a time. A little bit of drafting. This. All I need to do is spin a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't need to force myself to spin that 2 pounds. I just need to do a little bit. And so this brings us to the Mojo challenges. And did I start these the end of last year? Part of it was, teaching some techniques, and so you guys could work on some things with me and we could do stuff together. And part of it was because I was seeing a lot of people stressed out and a lot of people not knitting, spinning, crafting in general. And I wanted to see you guys doing things. I wanted to see me doing things. I needed the push. You needed the push. We all needed it. And the last Mojo challenge I gave, I haven't even finished it. I've made a bunch of stuff since. I did a pattern in the less is more kind of thing, but I didn't finish it. I have 3 out of the 4 yarns spun that I wanted to spun. I have the pattern that I want to do, and I could essentially start it because I started with the top 3 colors. So the top 3 colors are done. I just need the bottom color, but I haven't done it. And I don't know, it's a really easy pattern, and it may just be that it's just a longer pattern and it's just not what I need right now. I like the fast patterns. Something easy, something simple, and sometimes that's what I need. And even though I'm spinning a sweater project and I've got this Mojo project, sometimes I'll ignore both of them and I'll just pick up a random 4-ounce bunch of fiber and just spin that just for fun. There's no weight I'm trying to keep with, no grist I need to keep with, no number of plies I need to make sure to do. Sometimes I just want to spin a singles, and that's a standalone single yarn, nothing else. Sometimes I want to do a Navajo ply, and if that's not working in with what I need to do for my larger projects, I got to pick up something else. So that's a lot of what I've been doing lately. When I'm feeling kind of just out of sorts, I'll pick up something. And it'll be something new, and that's okay. So, this is the challenge that I'm giving you now. Do what you want. Just pick up something to spin. If it's something that is a long, ongoing project and you want to finish it, finish it. That's awesome. If you're feeling a little stressed out and you need just a different color or a different grist or just something, just spin. Just pick up something, and if it's new or it's old, just do it because it's going to make you feel better. And, those of us that do this really does kind of lower your blood pressure and makes you feel better. And if it's not lowering your blood pressure and if it's not making you feel better, pick something else to do. This shouldn't be stressed for you. And I just want you to feel better. Really, that's it. I guess that's everything that it's all about. It's okay to start a new project. It's okay to sit there with your knitting in your lap, just sort of zoning out, but having the feel of the yarn in your hands is going to help, and eventually at some point you're going to start working it. So, if everything you're working on is difficult, pick up something new. And if you need something super simple to work on, fiber, pick up fiber that you just love. Doesn't have to have a project. It doesn't have to have an end result. It just needs to be something that you want to touch and play with and work with. If it's a knitting or crocheting project and you just want something easy, in the blog post that I'm linking down below, there's a little infographic that'll show you. If you go to Ravelry and you go to their pattern section, on the left hand side are a bunch of little boxes that you can tick to kind of help choose and limit down, filter your choices. And down near the bottom, it's almost at the very last thing, is difficulty. So you can choose to do the easiest difficulty and not have to really think about what you're doing. Make a simple hat. Crochet a giant granny square. Whatever works for you to get you going and to keep your mind busy, your hands busy, and to help de-stress yourself. So that's the new challenge. Whether you finished or participated in the old one or any of the old ones, that's the new challenge, is just pick up something that's going to make you happy, something that's going to work. And then I want to hear about it. I want to hear what's working for you. And everybody's going to want to hear what's working for you because maybe they haven't found the thing that works for them. So if you're posting pictures of what it is to Instagram or to Facebook, use the tag Mojo Challenge. And in my blog post, it's all spelled out so that you can see what it is. Okay, deep breath. All right, guys, let's de-stress and keep the fiber going.